Well, hey guys, good morning. Big A coming to you from my front yard this morning. Look at it. It looks like winter wonderland out here. Man, it is absolutely beautiful. It's not too cold. Snow is everywhere. I'll be glad when that snow is gone, but I'm telling you, today it is here. I'm fired up today. Today is Monday. I think it's March the 12th. We're going to have an amazing day. I was looking over my schedule today, and I can't wait to see what today brings. I hope you're excited equally. Well, listen, what do you stand for? It's like, what do you mean, Big A? Like, what do you stand for? We're reading Henry Cloud's book this month on boundaries. Man, do you guys have boundaries? Have you implemented a strategy for your family where they know exactly where you stand and what you stand for? Man, when I coach guys, I see it over and over and over. I say, what do you stand for? Like, what are you going to allow? What are you going to disallow? What is the things that you've done for your family and for your children and your wife and for yourself? It's like, man, you have no boundaries for yourself. And I start thinking about the things that I've implemented over the course of my life. And man, did I make some mistakes early on. There was some point in time in my life where I had no boundaries, and it got my hind end in trouble. And it'll get your hind end in trouble also. But what about those kids and teenagers and the way you run your family at night? Like, what do you stand for? If the kids were polled today, would they know exactly what your family stands for? I don't want you to fold like a cheap tent at any societal pressure that comes upon you. And if you predetermine who you are and what you stand for, I want you to ask your kids, like, what do we stand for as a family? What do we allow? What do we disallow? What are the principles and the guidelines that we've established? Guys, we're losing our families today because we're not establishing boundaries. I want you guys to do that. I want you to sit around in a circle tonight with your family and go, this is what we stand for. This is who we are. This is what we base it on. These are the reasons that we allow and disallow these things in our lives. Guys, we've got to take charge. You know why? Because your kids are going to grow up and then they're going to have to make decisions, and they're not going to be able to make decisions because they didn't learn it from mom and dad. It is our responsibility to teach those boundaries to your children. Now listen, I'm not trying to impose my values on you. I'm not saying the way I do it for my family is the way that you have to do it for your family. But dadgum, I mean, do we have things that we stand on and that your kids know this is the way the Smiths live their life, and here's why we do it? This is allowed, that's not allowed, and here's the reason. I don't want you to fold at the first time that peer pressure comes along the way. And guys, I see it over and over and over. We want to be accepted by our peers and our colleagues rather than more of how we live our lives with the boundaries that we've established. I want you to be willing to be able to stand alone. Bob Bourne, my spiritual mentor, taught me that years and years ago. He said, Big A, if you've got these principles and values in your life, be willing to stand up and stand alone. I don't care what your society says. I don't care what the peers and the colleagues say today. Be willing to take a position and a stand and say, this is the reason I'm doing what I do. You know what I'm saying? And you'll send a message to your kids that are unbelievable, because then they'll be able to take a position for their life. And I want you to know the world is gobbling up our kids, and I don't want that to happen. And the only way that we can do it is establish boundaries in your family and let them know why you believe what you believe. And it starts with the dad. So take ownership of it today. Get your family together tonight and establish those boundaries. I got to get after it. I'm Big A, coming to you live from my snowy front yard. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful this morning? I mean, the snow is all up into everything. It is unbelievably beautiful. The sun is coming up behind me. It's going to be a great day. I'm Big A. I'm out of here. We'll see you.